after a little bit of housekeeping, a couple announcements, Nick is going to present on email campaigns. He's going to talk about, this is a fairly new module to Accudemia. He's going to talk a little bit about how to actually utilize it. And then I'll get into some best practices. I have some ideas for how you might utilize it, including some real world examples of how other Accudemia users are using the email campaigns. And then of course we will have our Q&A. So the first announcement is about our keynote webinar series. So next month, March's session is going to be presented by Dr. Sam Crandall. It's called XP Boost, How to Level Up Student Learning. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that link in the chat so you can read more about that and sign up if you would like. And as always, that is a free webinar for anybody to attend. So the other announcement is that we are running a survey right now, and we would love your feedback. If you have not filled it out already, this is a general Accudemia satisfaction survey. It is helping us figure out what some pain points are for folks, what's working, what's not working, what we need to improve. If you have a chance to take that, we would really appreciate it, and you will be entered into a drawing for an Amazon gift card. So I will put that link again in the chat. If you have a moment to take that, we really, really appreciate your time. And the last announcement is regarding our Engineerica Academic Center Summit. This is a combined professional development and academia training seminar that we host for 3 days near our company headquarters in Orlando. We are currently planning for February 2027. We are still working out the details for that, including like where specifically it's going to be held and all the offerings and when we'll open up for proposals. But you can save the date now, and we already have a website up for that. So I'm pasting that in the chat as well. So we hope you will join us. It's always a really, really good and enriching and energizing time. All right, so now I am going to go ahead and hand things off to Nick for the Tech Talk. Thank you, Nick.
Thanks, Rachel. And just kind of getting right into it. I'm Nick Armstrong with the support team, and these are the topics that we're going to go over today. We're going to see how you would create an email campaign template, as well as creating a new campaign that would go out, and how you can clone existing email campaigns to like maybe restart those for another semester. As well as looking at the campaign preview, as well as some mail server options if you prefer to use like your own Office 365 mail server, and as well as like kind of looking through the logs to see those things going out. Okay, the first thing is creating an email template. So when we get there, we're actually going to go ahead and add a name for the template, add a subject line, and the content, pretty much using the same things like you would do to write an email. We have these things that they're called key fields, but they're kind of like a merge field in Office, like if you were trying to send a mail merge, and basically allows you to put things like hi, first name of the student or whoever it's going out to. You could say that at the beginning, and then like if there's information you want to include that it's pulling from our database, then you can insert those. So we'll see that. And then you can save these as a draft if you're not quite finished with them. And then finally, save those as a template. So I've actually got my Accudemia pulled up right here in the background. And to get started, we're going to go under the centers and email campaigns. So this is where they live. And the first page that we get to is actually the email campaigns. And you can start here if you want to just do one really quickly on the fly, just do a new email campaign. Or you can design those email templates so that you can reuse those and send those over and over. So we're actually going to jump to that first. So I went to the template section, and you can see I've actually have a few of these already started. So let's look at the welcome campaign here. So I have hi, first name, welcome to the tutoring center. I don't know, like this is just something I made up, but you can see I can insert links. This is HTML, so I can go ahead and edit that as I see fit. But This also here will take them over to Accudemia, and all of these can actually easily be inserted using these key fields down here. So it was really just click where I want it and then click mail to, and then I could do first name, last name, email. So this would be whoever it's going to, their information. If it's got a course related to it, I can go ahead and put the title of that. If there's a group, and then there's some other things like the Accudemia URL, the current date, and possibly the location that this is in reference to. And it's going to pull that information when you fill this out. So you have to provide the location, the template name, the subject, and of course the content, like we were saying. Down below that is a preview. But if you had already saved that, there's also, oh, I guess you just edit right here and then go to the preview. Okay, that's fine. All right, so let's go and look at the next section. I think it's just creating the actual campaign. So, yep. And all the steps and things involved in that. So this is going to be similar. We're going to add a campaign name. So this might be more specific name to like when you were sending it out or who you're sending it out to. You're going to assign your locations on that when you send it out. You can choose your recipients, and those recipients are either students enrolled in a course or existing groups. So if you haven't created any groups, you may want to go in the system and create some groups for these communications. Maybe you have all your first year students and you want to let them know about like a special program you're doing for them so they can come in the center. So it's really handy to have that. And then you can choose to schedule it for later. Not scheduled if you're still kind of waiting to when you want to send that out, or you can do a one-time like send now. Additionally, you can basically choose from those templates like we saw, or you can create it on the fly without the use of a template. So let's look at that. So back again with the center email campaigns, this is the main page that loads. So I would just click on new email campaign here. And first I want to choose the location because this is going out from my center, so I want to make sure that everything's center specific. And if there was like a new program that I was offering, I could go ahead and just start creating and previewing it down here at the bottom. So let's say this was a new workshop program. Let's see. All right, so we put our template name. I really like that title, so I'm just going to use it for the email subject. Maybe we'll add like some extra characters and stuff on there, but now from here I can just, start writing it normally how I would. There is an option here to select a template. Now we have like some pre-written ones that if you had like, certain scenarios like this, then you might want to use one of these. And you can basically insert that in. But if I want to just start from scratch, I can just go ahead and go in here and I have all these different formatting options. But we'll just start with hello and then mail to first name and then comma. And then I'm just going to say like shorthand it here, XYZ workshops. And maybe I want to say we also offer tutoring in subjects, and I'll say course title. All right, and then of course my grammar tool can help me out with that. And then let's see, and then I'll just end it with best, whatever, the something like that. Okay. So this could actually go out just exactly how I wanted to send it. I could save it as a draft if I'm still kind of working on it, not quite sure if that's going to be the final way that I want that. Also, just to make sure, you can kind of see the preview of what that's going to look like. And I see there's like a lot of extra spacing, so maybe I don't need all the spaces that I put in there. And let's see. So that looks a little better, more condensed. So once I get that, I could save it as a draft, or I could save this as a template that I could use for the future. Um, let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and just save it as a template. Okay. All right. Actually, I think I was in the templates, my bad. So this is the new campaign. You have, I guess you have to look at the button when you do it. Okay, here we go. This is a new campaign. Okay, so the campaign name, we're gonna go ahead and paste that in. And we're gonna go ahead and make sure we select the right center. All right, and okay, here we go. This is where I can choose from enrolled students or existing group. So I would look for maybe my freshman, and I could send it now, schedule for later, not schedule it. Maybe I'm still working on it, but I'm going to do send now just for the heck of it. And then uh, this is what I was talking about. You can create a new template, or you can select one of our pre-mades. But I'm going to use an existing template since I created that one. There we go. And once it's in there, and I could have just done that on the fly, but as long as we have everything set the way we wanted it, there's a preview up here too, just to be sure. I can go ahead and save the changes. Remember, if it's set to send now, we should see those go out. And it will, in case you need to make a last minute change or something, you can go back and edit it. It will send in usually like about 5 to 7 minutes though, so you have very little time to do that, but you can. And I'm going to let that run, and then we'll come back to it and see. So now we're talking about cloning email campaign. And so basically, this is pretty easy. We just basically have a clone button there. You do want to rename the clone. So let's say you were doing the same campaign, but for a different semester. And you can adjust the campaign, like maybe there's some updated information that you want to put in there. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the Accudemia. All right, so in here, once I have a campaign, let's say this one that I did in spring, I want to go ahead and do this in the fall, and I'm getting it prepared, so I'll go ahead and clone that. If you just mouse over it, there's a little clone button on the far end. I think I can check it, and there's a clone button at the top as well, similar to some of our other pages, how they work. And what we can do, let's say I know the group already, so I can go ahead and find that. It'll show me a list so that I have a good idea of like who should be getting that. And I'm going to say not scheduled because I'm going to set this one to be, instead of spring, we're going to call this fall 2026. And I'm going to go ahead and clear this clone message. And this isn't seen by the students where it says welcome wagon. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that welcome campaign. And you can see the messaging or the subject that they're going to actually see. So, and as long as everything looks good, I can preview it again. I could view the logs. This is all actually just is just a shortcut to get to the logs, but I'll show you where those are anyway. But we'll go ahead and save this for now because I don't actually want to send it out. But I know this is the group that it's going to go to, and it might actually change because if it's another semester, they're going to be maybe new students in there. So we'll save that for now. So you can see the statuses right here. That one's still scheduled to go off. This one's not scheduled. And I have a few that were sent back before. So another option, because the Accudemia server, we do have a limit on how many messages can go out per day. So Accudemia limits you to 500 messages a day. So if you have a large group of students that these are going out to, then you may want to consider setting up an Outlook 365 account. It's just really an inbox for Office 365 because they can allow up to 10,000 emails per inbox. So and you could have a different email set up per center as well. So this is like college level versus like center level. You could have it. You could set it one email that sends out for the college. And this is something that we actually offered before. It's just something to mention here because of the limitations on our mail server. So let me show you how that's set up. So if you want to set that up, you're going to go into the administration control panel. When you get here, it has like the little map of the world here, and we're going to click on that. You can either leave it at the college level, or if I'm working in just this particular center and I have like a center specific email that I want to use, I can go ahead and select that center. And what I need to do is check this box that says enable external Microsoft mail server, and I can go ahead and configure this, and it's going to want me to connect to a mail account. So basically it's going to bring me out to like a Microsoft login. And if we had a specific, I wouldn't want to use my personal email, but if I had a different account that I wanted to connect to, I just say use another account. And I would have to know like the login credentials and all that. But like if you guys set up like a specific email for the center that could be used with your Microsoft account, then you could go ahead and use that. Now I'm not going to go through and set this up, but that's the exact process. Once it gets connected, you would actually see. And this is also just trying to let you know like the reason why you might want to do that, because it does limit to 10,000 versus our 500 limit a day. So all right, let me go ahead and minimize that. And there is no save on this, so like once you get it connected, it'll just know it's connected there, and it'll actually show that it's connected. So all right, and now how to check the email logs to make sure the campaigns are sent and everybody's getting those messages. So this, you can do this with any communications, whether it's like appointments or whatever, but this is actually good to know about for email campaigns. So there's a few ways to get to it. We saw like when I was working in the email campaigns, um, like this one just said it was sent now. So if I click on it, I can view the email logs from here. And really all it's doing is just taking me to the normal page where that's at. But if you go to data analytics and email logs here, we're going to get the very same screen if you see. So the good thing is I could actually search for that name. If I wanted to make sure and see where all the emails were, it kind of highlights it when I just do like a control F and search for it. And I can show up to 100 rows. So if there was a large amount sent out, but I can see that these are the 6, and I could even filter by the subject over here as well. Okay, there we go. I might have provided too much information, but it does show the 6 recipients. And then if I click on details over here, I'm actually going to see a preview of what they were sent out, and the timestamps and everything on here of when that was sent. All right, so I think that's the last part of this. Do we have any questions on the just use of the email campaigns?
Oh, we have a question from Michaela. She asks, can you upload a list of contacts to send the email campaign to?
Yeah, so the way that I would do that is just upload them as a group. So that way you could use that group. Because the two ways that we can do, and I might not have shown it, is basically if they're registered to a certain class, you can send it to them that way, or if they're part of a group. So that just you would upload like the IDs in one column of all the users in that group, and then like a name for the group would just be repeated in another column. And if you upload that and they exist in the software, it'll go ahead and add them to that group. You can also include other information so that they get created on the import, like if you have their first name, last name, and email, because the minimum you need is their ID number, first and last name to create them. But email, they would have to have that as well so that you can send it. So does
All
that help?
right. I think it does. Hopefully, Michaela, if you need anything else, let us know. Just double checking here. Yep, she says thanks. Okay.